Right, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. So I actually already partly recorded this video, but it turns out my mic wasn't turned on, so it didn't record any volume. So that was a bit annoying. But I wanted to show you my seedlings because I haven't actually documented them once, and I was intending to document them. What are we in February? A couple of times by now. But I just kind of didn't want to do it too soon when there was only like some tiny seedlings. But in the last video that I recorded that didn't come to anything, I actually repotted all of them, most of them, all of my tomatoes and all of my peppers into their individual pots, just to size like a 2-inch pot. Um, the tomatoes are tiny Tim, so I'm going to be growing them indoors. That's why I've sown them so early. I sowed them like, I think it was actually the last week of December I sowed those, because they are, as far as I understand, and I've grown them before, I think they're self-fertile. They were self-fertile last time, so I don't want to go and tell the internet they are self-fertile, but I'm pretty sure they are. So I'm growing those, and then I'm growing Pepper King of the North, um, and they're doing really well. Let me grab them actually, and I can bring them over. So I germinated them on a heated tray, heated in a heated propagator, and I've got a grow light, which is the light that's illuminating me right now. And you can really tell. So they keep moving. I'm going to drop these. Right, these two here. There's a fungus gnat. These two, King of the North here, I potted them up about 4 weeks ago. These King of the Norths, all here, terrible English. I potted these up a couple of days ago. You can see the size difference. Let me just hold them up. This is crazy in a good way. Like, well, yeah. King of the North, they've got 2 sets of adult true leaves. And then if I show you this against literally any of the other ones, sown at the exact same time, potted up 4 weeks ago, potted up 2 days ago. How crazy is that? I was not expecting. I was expecting a difference, which is why I only put up 2 of them the other when I did, because I wanted to show a comparison. I was not expecting the comparison to be that dramatic. Otherwise, I would have bloody potted these up sooner. Because I've bought what are they called, hydro quad grows. I've bought quad grow self-watering planters, which are intended for peppers and tomatoes and outdoor plants, fruiting plants. And I bought them specifically for these, and I actually bought 8. So 8 individual pots, so 4 quad grows, because they come in sets of 2. Um, and now I've only got 2 peppers that are like really going. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 small King of the Norths, and then the 2 large King of the Norths. And I'm so determined to grow peppers successfully this year. I've tried a couple of times. Well, I've tried a couple of times in my life. Because like I'm talking from maybe the first time I tried growing peppers, I was probably 14, and then the second time that I remember trying to grow them, I must have been about 16 or 17, and I grew them in the greenhouse. But I grew them in the ground in the greenhouse, and they actually like to be quite warm. And in the old house, we had a really clay-based soil, which meant that they would have been quite cold. The root system would have been quite cold, like through the night and all that. So I remember they grew like 1 pepper, but they really didn't do well. So I'm like, I've had over the past couple of months like a super hyper fixation on watching videos on growing, sorry, on growing peppers and how to best get them like a good harvest. So the key is to sow super early because they want a really long growing period. They need as long as you can get of a growing period. And because these are King of the North, my mind is assuming that's north of the UK. Or maybe, well, yeah, it must be. It might be. I'm assuming it's meaning that they do really well in cooler weather. And I luckily live in the south of the UK, so we get a lot. Yeah, compared to the north, we get a lot more heat and a lot longer season. So I don't know where I was going with that, but I'm really, really going to try and grow them successfully. So I'll keep you updated. I'm going to do a lot of like update videos just on my peppers as the season goes on. I've been watching this really cool YouTuber. His name's JB, but what's his YouTube name? I don't know it. I'll link it here. But I've been watching loads of his videos, and he goes crazy over peppers and chili peppers in particular. So I've been following a lot of his guidance in my mind, and I'm going to try and see how good I can do this year. Right, let's go on to the tomatoes. So I have 6 tomatoes. These are just one variety, Tiny Tim, and I potted up 2 of them the same time I did as the peppers. So about 4 weeks ago now, and they're doing really well. Believe it or not, that is that is like between 2 and 3 sets of true leaves on those. These are a dwarf variety, like a micro variety of tomato. So when they are full grown, they will only be about that tall, full grown, fruiting with multiple trusses of fruit. I've grown these in the past, and they grow very well indoors. So I'll just have them in a sunny windowsill. And so that's the size. This other one has got a lot of yellowing, and I can feel he's a lot heavier than this one. So I'm thinking maybe he's not doing as well. His root system's probably not as good, so that's probably why he's not sucking up the water as well. You can see yellowing on there. I don't think it's variegation. It wouldn't make sense well, it could make sense that there's variegation, because apparently, statistically, 1 in 1,000 seeds comes up variegated of any plant variety. If you look at that leaf, it looks like variegation, but I'm going to assume it's not. I'm going to assume it's maybe it was too close to the grow light. It's not going to be a deficiency at this stage. Anyway, what was I saying? Let's compare one of the tomatoes from being potted up 4 weeks ago to one of the tomatoes. Let's choose quite an equal. This one was potted up 2 days ago, and the size difference doesn't make. Don't pay too much attention to the size difference. Look at the color. This one was in a shared tray with loads of other seedlings. You can see it's a lot yellower, so it's not had the availability of enough nutrients. They were slightly not overwatered, but they were quite wet in their seed tray. Whereas they've been potted up into a bigger pot. He's a lot greener. You can see he's just a bit more prepared for life. Looks like he's got a bit more vigor to him. So it's just insane how 4 weeks difference makes in the exact same conditions. Just potted up into a bit more soil. I did actually, or did I? Yes, I did. I mixed in a little bit of frass with the potting mix. So it was just multi-purpose compost, perlite, coir, and frass. Frass is insect waste based fertilizer. So it's just similar to worm castings, but insect castings. Oops. So yeah, he's doing good. They're doing good. Then I have some other seedlings, which should I grab them and bring them over? Yeah. So I actually have one tomato left in here. You can see him just there. And I've got some basil in there as well. This basil is super slow growing at the moment. I think I just need to pot them up into something that's going to allow for a bit of a better root system and access to a bit more nutrients. I then have some spring onions. These I'm going to keep in here until I plant them out into my greenhouse. I'm not in a rush with these, but they should be able to go out a lot sooner than the other. Well, they will be able to go out a lot sooner than the other plants. Yeah, they'll go outside just in the raised bed in the greenhouse. And then I'm considering keeping the basil indoors. I mean, I'm going to keep it indoors until it's hot anyway, but I'm debating keeping this just in a really sunny windowsill in the kitchen, because I think during last summer we didn't have a hot summer, so it was growing so slowly, and then it just I think I think the nighttime temperature was a bit too cold for a lot of the time, so I think it just grew a lot slower than it would if it was indoors. So that's that. And then I have my onions. Very poor show. There's only 4 or 5 that have come up, and that is the Red Baron. That is supposed to be one of the best varieties to grow red onions. One of the best varieties to grow in the UK, according to a lot of YouTubers that I've been watching. So I had the seeds. These were old seeds for me. I tried these last year as well, and I had really bad germination again. Um, but I'll try and plant them out if they survive. I mean, one of them looks like it's doing really well. That one. And then I've got some tagetes or tagetes. I've only sown half of the container here. I sowed another type of pepper in this half, but that was weeks ago now, and they've not come up. Those old seeds anyway, so not a problem. But the tagetes, even though they were under the grow light, I mean, they were off to one side, but they've really got tall. But they're really toughening up now. I keep like shaking them to pretend like just mirror the external factors to strengthen up their stems, getting them ready for the real world. And yeah, that's everything. I have grown some. There's one other type of seed, which is like just a perennial flowering stackies, which is lamb's ears, but only 3 of those come up as well. So I've had a really bad show with some of the seeds, but they have been old seed packets. So that is what's growing in my grow light area at the moment. I've turned off the underheating for now, like the heated propagator, so it's not heated anymore, because it seems to be getting a bit warmer anyway. So that is everything as of the 22nd. Is that a spider? No, it's a fly. As of the 22nd of February. So I will upload this as its own video, but I might compile them in to make one long video as well, depending on how well these peppers grow. Cool. I think I'm going to leave that there. I do have some plants in the greenhouse, actually. Let me go show you those seedlings in the greenhouse that have come up, and I just checked on them yesterday. They're all coming up. I did, however, notice that it looks like a mouse has dug up some of my sweet peas. Let's go check that out before it gets dark. Cool. And again, these are going to be staying indoors until mid-May. Yeah, our last frost is usually end of April, mid-May. I'm going to be putting that into the greenhouse once I'm absolutely certain the frost is definitely not coming back. I think I'll be gutted. I think I'll cry if my peppers died off, because I've really got some good plans for them this year. I'll show you the quad grows as well whilst I'm out there. So let's get outside. So this is them in situ. So I just have my grow light up there. This is a Mars Hydro grow light. It is one that they actually sent me for free quite a few years ago now. So this is just the area that I've had them on. So I had the heated propagator there where they sit with their little lids on. Ignore my little paint projects. So that's how I kind of germinated them, and then they have since come out of their pots. But look how well these are doing. I'm so happy with how well they're doing, and I think these guys will catch up really, really quickly. So I'm not genuinely concerned. I'm genuinely surprised, but I'm not genuinely concerned. And then you can see the yellowing on there a lot better compared to his counterpart. Um, so yeah, look at the size difference. Them two next to each other, or those 4. These were potted up 4 weeks ago. These were potted up 2 days ago, two or 3 days ago. Same with these. Look at the size difference of these two. I should have known, but hey, we live and we learn. This is the reason I did it. The reason I only potted up a couple was so that I could literally see the difference between them. I just wish I knew that the difference would be this much, because I would have potted up more than 2 of them. Right, so before we go into the greenhouse, I just wanted to show you how well the garlics are doing. This is in the exact same position I grew them last year, which part of me is worrying that that's going to be an issue with when rust comes around, because I did get rust last year towards the end of the year, and rust it like can survive in the soil, I'm pretty sure, but we'll see. And then here, this little guy, that was a Swede. I planted a row of Swedes. He's the only one that survived. I'm leaving him just, I don't know why. Somewhere in the back of my mind, there's hope that he'll produce something. But yeah, no, the garlic's doing really well. And I actually just saved the same garlics that I grew last year. So it's a hardneck variety. Yes, it is. Is it? Oh God, I don't know. Actually, I'm trying to picture it. Maybe it's a soft neck variety, but I think hardneck varieties store better. And I've still got loads of garlic stored, and they're doing really well. So that's why I've kind of thought it was a hardneck. But anyway, let's get inside the greenhouse. Right, it's actually nice and warm in here. I want to show you guys. Got a couple of updates. I've got, I'm in my pajama bottoms, but I've got a table and chairs in here now. So my partner got me this for my birthday. Um, so this is going to be so nice to sit in here in the summer mornings, summer evenings. It's going to be really nice. But let's show you the seedlings. Oh, and I've done some rearranging. Look, I think I showed you this actually. Let's carry on. The seedlings. So this is the little setup of seedlings I've got at the moment. Oh yeah, look, something's been in here and chewed up. Oh, what? This is just vandalism at this point. Look at this. They've not even eaten them. They've just chopped the. Oh, they've done it to all of them. Oh, I literally was out here yesterday, and that wasn't like that. So something's come in here, and personally, this is a personal attack. Oh, so what I did have. Oh, it's literally all of them. There's one that's been kind of that will survive. Okay, so I'm going to be resowing my chard, my sweet peas. Oh, maybe there's one there and one there. These have been demolished. Ugh, what did I just touch? Oh, that's really annoying. I've never actually had that before. I always see people online, especially people at allotments. They have issues with the mice dig up their seeds and everything, and I'd had never had that issue before. I've never seen this before, but you can see something's dug it up. Anyway, we've got some red cabbages here, some very rusty nails. Red cabbages, they don't seem to have been touched, so that's fine. I mean, that one's been touched by something, maybe a slug. Oh, my kale. So this is my straight kale, my curly kale. So the curly kale, I've only got one left, and maybe a bit. Curly kale, I've got the straight kale, I've got a couple, but I'm gonna have to resow those. Okay, well there you go. You win some, you lose some. All my carnivorous plants, none of them are really doing anything at the moment. I did have a big tidy up, and I've actually sold a few of these because I'm looking to downsize just a bit, make it more manageable because this takes a lot of water in the summer. And I've got that water butt filled up, and I did set up my second water butt down there, but I've not attached it to the gutter yet, so it's actually not really doing anything. I'm really gutted about that. I'm gonna have to go get some seeds and sow them again. I'll sow them now, maybe. No, I don't want to sow them right now. Maybe I should leave this lid on them like I had, and then maybe they wouldn't have been attacked so bad. Let's open that up. Oh, oh well, right. No, never mind. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Bit of a bummer to end on, but it's all good. Yeah, I just need to resow. Oh, I've got one more thing to show you. If you remember, I mentioned I sowed carrots down here a long while ago. They've all started to come up. You can just see the line of them there. There's so many other seedlings coming up here that I need to. I'll weed between. Although that looks like some sort of brassica. You know, I might see what comes up. But anyway, yeah, the carrots will come out. There's 2 rows there, so that's really cool. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm finished. So that is update number. Let's call it update number 1. I don't know, because I want this to be like a series following the growth of my peppers. I've just seen this. This was a brassica root, and I'm wondering whether that was clubroot. Because anyway, this might be episode 1 of following the growth of my peppers, but let's see how it goes. I need to get some weeding done in here. It's really exciting that everything's starting to grow. My you can see there, my parsley has got insanely huge. We've been eating it like we've been eating it relatively often, and it tastes so good. It's like the best parsley I've ever tasted. Yeah. Now I'm gonna leave it here. Okay, cool. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in my next update. And if there's anything specific you want to see out in the garden, let me know. I know a couple of people have asked for like a general tour. I don't know that I'm gonna do that because it's an absolute mess, and I feel like pointing a camera at it makes it real. Whereas when I walk past it, you know, it doesn't. I don't have to pay attention to it. No, it's not that bad. But anyway, If you want anything specific, let me know, and I will try and do what I can. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.